My 33M wife, 33F, is hiding correspondence with ex-affair partner. Roughly 2 years ago it came to light that my wife was having what she claimed was only an emotional affair with an industry peer of hers. At the time I was working in a very toxic job, and was admittedly neglecting our relationship. I'm not excusing the affair, but giving some context on our history. We went to some therapy, she ended the affair, and we've slowly gotten back to a pretty good place. I quit the terrible job last summer, and have improved my mental and physical health tremendously since leaving. The ex-affair partner has contacted her a handful of times since the affair ended. Each time she assures me that it is just work-related etc. One of the times we were out to dinner, and he texted her, "Hi," while her phone was on the table. Fairly benign, but it was enough to pretty much ruin our date night. When I got home from work last night I had to break it to her that some plans we'd made for our anniversary this weekend were likely going to fall through due to some last-minute schedule changes at work. She was aware that this was a possibility, and we discussed contingencies for a later date. She gave me the cold shoulder all evening, then blew up before going to bed. She told me that I've been completely unreliable for our entire relationship, and that she could only count on me to be a disappointment etc. I felt kinda blindsided, and don't think that this was a fair reaction. I'd been looking forward to our anniversary for weeks, and am also disappointed that we have to reschedule our plans. Her response dragged up some baggage and insecurity, so after not being able to sleep I went and snooped on our shared office computer. I found a chain of deleted work emails with the ex-affair partner ranging from last month to about a year ago. Last month she had done some graphic design work for a small business he's starting. In earlier emails he whines about how he's still in love with her, and how much he misses her. She said she misses him too. I feel completely sick, and guilty for having gone through her emails, but I can't just ignore them. I feel totally lost and discouraged. Part of me just wants to bury this and not acknowledge it. How do I confront her about this? Do I even confront her, or just keep working on myself, and try to be the best husband possible? Or, option C, say nothing and begin getting your ducks in a row for a divorce, see a lawyer, have the paperwork drawn up, etc., and leave her to her friend. Your marriage is over. The only thing left to decide is the best way to go about protecting yourself. Sue. The question is, what do you want for yourself? Meaning that, this has continued. And she actually told this shitbag she misses him. What else do you want, sir? She's lying to you and completely not trustworthy. This is all you know of what else don't you know? Dumb her man. You gotta love on. IDK if you got kids or whatever, but she's fucking around if not leaving that option open for sure. I'd make a plan to leave and not tell her. Talk to a lawyer to see what you should do. She's being cruel because she's comparing you to her fantasy lover. I say fantasy because that's all he is now. I'd let him have her. She ended the affair. No, she didn't. How much does your husband help? Men. How much do you help your wife? I find myself cleaning the house daily, making dinner, bathing the kids, getting them ready for school. I work full-time from home, so I feel he thinks I just chill, whereas he's on his feet. I make time to work out 5x a week, so there are days I feel real exhausted. For a while he started making the bed in the mornings and then he stopped. He leaves his clothes on the floor. He's a lot messier than myself. It gets exhausting. If I ask him to do something he'll do it, but I wish he could just see dishes in the sink and say, "Let me help her." I don't want to have to tell him what to do. I also pay half the rent and take care of my phone bill and our internet while he takes care of the electricity. He did mention last time if I could send him half of the electric bill. I never did because if that's the case we should just split everything, including the groceries I've bought for the last 2 months straight. Our sex life is great and we've been spending the last few weekends hanging out late after the kids are asleep, so there isn't really much he could complain about except maybe when my mood is off when I'm overwhelmed and tired. What can I say or do so he doesn't feel attacked and it doesn't start an argument? Men. How would you want your wife to approach you? Thank you all. You keep referring to him helping you. It's his home and laundry and dishes and dirt and whatever else too. He's not helping you. He's doing his share of keeping his home clean and tidy. Yeet the word help from your vocabulary. Same with the kids when people say their husband is babysitting. He's not. He's literally just parenting. It's his job. Help. My partner pulls his weight just as much as I do because he fucking lives here and last time I checked I haven't signed up to be a maid. Why are you positioning it as help? Those are his chores just as much as they are yours. My husband doesn't help, because that implies household work is my problem. We both do jobs as we notice them or feel inclined. We have had disputes over cooking because neither of us are keen, so now we have a rota and the rule is that whoever does the cooking chooses the food and gets on with it so that the other person doesn't need to think about it at all. I would say that there is some personal preference for chores. I never put the bins out but I do most of the washing, other jobs are more 50-50. I've heard on here before of people listing the chores and allocating between them by each person's preference. Would that work for you? Or you could tough it out and do nothing until he notices. He doesn't bother because he knows you will, so don't. My husband helps but usually I need to bring it to his attention. It's not automatic. Honestly, I've grown tired of it. My 28F boyfriend, 32M, said he would be attracted to a 14-year-old. We've been together for 2 months. We were talking about how attraction works for us. I'm demisexual and I need to feel a connection, have feelings for someone to be attracted to him. But I have a high libido, so all my relationships were great from this point of view. My boyfriend had a promiscuous past but he has always been faithful to his girlfriends when he was in a serious relationship. He said, however, that he can still feel attraction for other women even if he is in a relationship. Which is fine. But he then said, if I see a woman I can subconsciously tell if I would do something with her and rank her from 1-10. It's just spontaneous and involuntary, with any woman between the ages of 14–45. I was taken aback. I thought he meant that if you see someone randomly on the street you might think she is 18, 20 or older but she might be just 14. I asked, but if you knew that that girl was 14, that she was underage, even if you didn't act on it, would you still be attracted to her? He said yes, if she doesn't look like a kid, but like a young adult, because you can't control biology and it's the same as finding someone attractive even if they are an awful person and you wouldn't even talk to them. How could I navigate and discuss this with him, if it's worth any discussion? I think the fact that he even said women from age 14 to 45 inches, a 14-year-old isn't a woman. A 14-year-old is a child and should not be categorized as an adult. I would be extremely put off by a partner who categorizes children as adults and assesses their fuckability when they see them. If you ignore this glaring red flag and stay with this creep, you're a lost cause. This guy is a certified weirdo. It's not normal for a fully grown man to admit he's attracted to 14-year-olds. I tutor teens and I promise you from the bottom of my heart, number 14-year-old looks like a young adult. 2 months. Women from age 14 to 15. Mention of biology to justify him being a creep. Break up. Typo. I think you meant ex-BF, right? Right? Girlfriend, F30, is upset that she is in my M29 phone as her first and last name. Girlfriend upset that her name in my phone is her first and last name. So this is my first relationship since I divorced 3.5 years ago. Me and this girl have been dating for almost 2 months. I have a daughter, she has a son. Tonight we had a movie night with the kids and took some pics. She texted me the pics and saw that I had her in my phone as her first and last name and jokingly acted disgusted. But then she kinda got seriously annoyed that I didn't have her in there as something else, and said it was a red flag that I had her first and last name as her contact in my phone. She has a nickname for me in her phone. But that's just not something I've ever done, or thought about doing. The last part of the night, the kids played, and she became very distant and short with me and acted hurt by this. I feel like her reaction to this is a red flag. Is it really a big deal? I'm not a kid who has cute nicknames for everyone in my phone. How do I handle this? I really care about this girl, but this was kinda silly to me. I am consistently surprised on this sub that there are 30-year-olds who still behave like this. My boyfriend is in my phone as his first and last name. This girl is trippin'. It never ceases to amaze me the stupid things people get angry and hurt over. You've only been dating 2 months. Why have you even met each other's kids yet? Holy shit, you introduced this woman to your children after 2 months of dating? Face with monocle. Sounds like she's upset that you're not a teenage girl.